the highlight of this year is that some of ONF platforms and solutions are starting to get deployed in production networks in tier 1 operators. And there the biggest news is that Comcast deployed Trellis and ONOS in their production network at scale. And that means there are multiple geographies, more than 10 geographies, and in each geography they have thousands of live customers that are running on Trellis and ONOS. So that is a validation of ONF platforms, especially ONOS as the SDN control plane and Trellis as a leaf spine fabric for service providers. The other exciting thing that is happening is that AT&T, Turk Telecom and Deutsche Telekom have committed to taking SEBA into production. And so I think most likely this will happen in 2020, and the operators as well as the supply chain community have come up with a plan to help productize and commercially support SEBA for these operators. So that is another very important development that has happened. Related to Trellis, another very important development is two companies, that is Infosys and Edgecore, are announcing that they are going to commercially support Trellis and ONOS for any other operator that wants to consider it and deploy it. So again, that is the important development. In addition to that, thanks to Intel and Sprint, we got an open source CUPS compliant EPC, that is Evolve Packet Core, and that is going into trials at Sprint and Deutsche Telekom in Poland. And so that is another open source platform coming out of ONF that is getting into trials and production. So while these platforms are moving into production, we also are following and creating the next generation platforms and technologies that will be on the roadmap for these platforms I described. And there, the most important thing is the next generation SDN. So in support of next generation SDN, we are open sourcing Stratum as a thin switch operating system that supports this next generation SDN interfaces, especially P4 runtime, OpenConfig, GNMI, and GNOI. And so this thin switch operating system is also supported on two ASICs, that is one from Broadcom as well as another one from Barefoot, that is Tofino, and 6 white box devices are supporting Stratum on their devices. And so we are continuing to work on mobile edge cloud and some of the convergence that we call COMAC, so convergence of wireline and mobile access as well as core for wireline and mobile. So those are the forward-looking platforms and solutions, and so we have a good combination of things that are going into production, and we are also working on the next generation technologies to keep pushing this agenda forward.